A question on the flow equalization and the plant breaking down. Time to repair a sewage plant breaks down is 30 days, 45 days? Are they broke down? Is that, or is it 4 or 5 days that they broke down?
I guess it all depends. It all depends on what breaks down. The only, I'll add a qualifier to this too, that it might be, correct me if I'm wrong, the lagoons have 60 days of storage when empty, but likely those lagoons, that lagoon won't be empty. However, we do have that fourth lagoon at this point in time that doesn't have any current use. So hopefully, you know, in designing this plant, you can always make the case for having extra redundancy in there to put flow into your equalization lagoon and get it over into your sludge wetland lagoons as well as your extra storage.
Okay. Councilor Elmons.
Just another question about the ESR addendum and the process and timelines. What needs to happen immediately so that we do have these?
Well, I think
this public information.
Assuming that I don't like saying assuming that we're talking about it, but assuming council is just like say option 3 and concur with South Huron, I think that's something we probably want to talk about at the next board meeting and decide at the board level whether or not an ESR addendum was to happen. In reviewing South Huron's report to council, their staff member did not recommend an ESR to occur, and they did say that the EA didn't need to be opened up. So that would be, you know, a point where our understanding of how to move forward doesn't necessarily mesh up. I have spoken with their staff, and I think we've developed an understanding that it probably is better to err on the side of caution, so they can get some consensus at the board that we move forward, and the board or councils need to decide how that ESR addendum is going to work. We'll have to select a professional firm to do it. Whether we go competitively bid that or we directly assign somebody, that decision needs to be made. I suspect if we were to know by Friday that we were doing the ESR addendum and an engineering firm may work on it quite quickly, it can be done probably 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. Councilor wants to another.
Yeah, just a couple of. I'm kind of curious about the smaller double train and the redundancy and mothballing being an issue, because I clearly remember sitting around this table when we were talking about the big boy, the $27.9 million, and the big feature was we can mothball it for 10 years and bring it back and use it. So I'm a little. Anyway,
It's one of those things that it takes operating time to do it.
Yeah.
Our partner did not like that operating philosophy at all. So it's one of those things that was probably not something you saw at this level, but when we were working as a technical steering team, it was one of those discussions that could become very contentious.
And because you mentioned the word partner, I have always appreciated your forthrightness. I think that's one of your qualities, to be able to tell it like it is. So as a working group member and as the lead working group engineer, from our standpoint, I'd like to ask you, in a very forthright way, what you think the fallout would be with our sole partner at this point if we did not agree with them and go with option 3. Where do we go from here?
I know, I've asked myself that question.
So you and I are thinking alike.
I suspect, you know, we have recourse. If you default back to our transfer order, the recourse is the only.
Don't forget it. It's better.
Did we not, did South Huron not say when that they were going with option 3, if we chose to go with option 4, we would be paying the extra? That was
that was staff's recommendation.
Okay.
But at their council meeting, they passed a resolution only supporting option 3.
So we're controlled. We don't have a choice unless we decide to as a council. Councilor Elmons?
I guess I don't know how you answer this, Brent, but it seems to me that we don't have an agreement with our partner. We need to get something in place in terms of the governance structure, so that's a critical recommendation. Of course, the carts, well, that's gonna happen after the fact. So I guess bottom line is, we've made South Huron very, very happy.
I think it's nice to have happy partners.
Okay, I'm gonna call a 15-minute break. It's not a public meeting, but the public has sat and listened, and if you have any questions and you want to talk to a counselor, we'll come back and we can have some more questions. If we want to have, you don't want to hear from any of the public on the calling a 15-minute break, and we'll come back and talk. Okay, I'll call us back to order. Councilor Owens?
Okay, we gotta make some decisions, I guess, so I'm gonna make a motion that we hold a public meeting and allow folks to give us some feedback on options 3 and 4, and in particular that folks are aware that with any expansion of either plant, that will be the full cost in the future.
Okay, motion seconder for the motion to hold a public meeting, Councilor McGuire.
And record the vote, please.
Okay. Councilor Underwood, can I speak to the motion?
Yes, I think it's a motion. We just have reports from an engineer. We've gone through this now for 2 years. South Huron has chosen option 3, which I don't think is a very bad option to make. We're going to open up a can of worms. We're still going to have an addendum ESR. I understand certain members wish to have public meetings until the cows come home. I cannot see the point of doing it. I would much rather vote on one of the options and then we move ahead and we continue on. Personally, I cannot support that motion, this particular motion.
Okay. Councilor Bonson?
I guess that's what we're elected for, is to make these tough decisions. And I completely agree with Councilor Underwood. I'm concerned that this working group has done such a good job, and they have built bridges, we have consensus. I'm not sure to go back to the public at this stage. I don't know what you'd accomplish. I think you probably confuse them more than anything. We have an option. It's a good option. It suits our needs for the next 20 years. Councillor Scott has made it very clear that if you build it today, they don't necessarily come. And I think every indication, if you look south of the border in terms of infrastructure, we have a great deal here, 2/3. We are in a position today to do a win-win and to bring our sole partner on board and get this deal going and get it done. And I think it meets all of our requirements and ticks the boxes, and I'm absolutely in agreement with, after that is done, to go and explain to the public, who is probably completely confused at this stage, what is going on, and I cannot imagine a bump-up request on a project that's going to save them half of what the original project was.
Right on.
Mayor?
Yes, definitely. We'll be giving the public lots of opportunity to know the details when we have that ESR Addendum Public Information Center in the future. And as has been stated in the report and otherwise, that time is of the essence. We have to get things moving forward. We're going to meet our deadline of May of 2016, and it's the same. It's an oral process. It's not a new process. It's just a smaller scale process, which the public is fully aware that we're looking for some alternative. We sent that out in the tax bills, so they're aware. So I think that we need to get things going forward and to make a decision today.
Councilor Cook?
Yes, just from the opposite side of it, it may be the same process, but not everybody's had their options listed. We have 2 options in front of us. Not everybody's aware of what the options are. We're making the decision here without very much public consultation. Granted, we are supposed to make the tough decision, but if it comes to the fact that we made the wrong decision, they can't say no.
You were going to do it at twice
I
the
was under
cost.
the understanding alternatives were for alternative methods, not capacities going down. Councilor Bonson?
Well, the alternatives were cost-effective alternatives, and I guess where I get confused to go to public input, there's been a 2006 master sewer plan, which I'm sure had their public input. There were 2 EAs done in Zone 4 and Zone 3 on a possible collection system, again, public input. There was an ESR done on this